Hello and welcome to the pregame show where the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets will be facing off against the Allegheny College Gators in the first PAC conference matchup of the baseball season. I'm Wyatt Clatterball. Alongside me, Vinny Heller. And Vinny, we're going to get right into it. Allegheny versus Waynesburg. Their total career is Waynesburg only has 2 wins to 7 losses. Their longest win streak was last year in April. They beat Allegheny both times in that series. Their longest was 6 games from 2019 to 2023. They're 2-2 at home, 0-4 and away. In conference, they're 2-2. And their first matchup, they lost 3-9. Last 9 matchups, they're 2-7. So what does Waynesburg really have to do, or both of these teams really have to do, to get a victory on Saturday?
No, there's definitely a very big key aspect, in my opinion, looking into this game, going into this game, is this is PAC play now. This is 9 innings instead of 7. So where Waynesburg has struggled in that 6th and 7th inning recently is they've gone 1-5 in their last 6 games since the Florida trip. I definitely think they have to look at making less mental errors, whereas they could live with the physical errors, and you can make that up in those extra 2 innings. However, I feel the mental errors of not battling at the plate as much or not swinging on a one right down the middle, I definitely feel like that could definitely take Waynesburg to a sweep on this series. However, Allegheny, 5-7, a better record. They're better in the field than Waynesburg is, better in pitching, I'd also have to say. However, I feel like if Waynesburg get the bats around, that'll be a very key factor in this game. However, the doubleheaders for both teams this season haven't gone really well. Waynesburg's 3-11 in all their doubleheaders, whereas Allegheny has played less games, but they're 1-5. Both teams are on a 3-game losing streak, but I definitely feel like less mental errors will lead Waynesburg to a victory today.
Yeah, Allegheny, as it currently sits in the overall record, is 5-7. Waynesburg at the bottom at 4-12. Waynesburg is 7th in batting average with .275. Allegheny is in 4th with a .312 batting average. On the pitching side of things, Allegheny's in 8th with a 7.13 ERA. Waynesburg in dead last with 9.76 ERA. So not the greatest on the pitching side of things, but I mean, Waynesburg yesterday against Pitt Bradford, we kind of saw it. They had a big rotation of guys. Do you see them doing that again against Allegheny, or do you think they go with the strong core that they've had to start off the season?
I definitely feel like they should go with the strong core. I get the non-conference play is for you to see what guys you got as freshmen, as Coach Impellitteri is new. He has to see what he's working with. However, this is PAC play now. This is where it really matters, and I feel like you got to go with guys like Dalton Lucy. I definitely have in my book Matthew Gaskill. Is you've seen against most of the doubleheaders, one game is usually blown out the sky, but one game is also close as well, and I feel like that is based off not being able to put out the fire, where I think Matthew Gaskill is the exact guy to do that, and I feel like him closing out most games will lead to more wins for Waynesburg, and I feel like he's definitely one of the guys who I feel like we should definitely see in the rotation today.
Yeah, and we talk about it. Dalton Lucy starting game 1, Ethan Earhart starting game 2. Been 2 of the better pitchers for this Waynesburg team, both last year and this year. What do you think they need to do to kind of get a rhythm going for this Waynesburg team, especially because it is a PAC conference matchup and the first conference matchup of the season at that?
I feel like it'll come naturally. You're not only pitching just 1 inning. You're not kind of looking forward to get taken out of the game for a freshman who needs some time in and to get used to the playing time and the speed of the game. I think they just need to take themselves calm, step on the mound, whether it's for the stretch or the windup, and honestly just do their thing. Get the ball at the corners and don't let batters battle as much as they have been leading the games and the 130 runs they've given up in the doubleheaders. I definitely feel like just stay calm, play your role.
Yeah, you said 130 runs in their conference battle. Waynesburg would win both matchups, as I mentioned earlier, against Allegheny 5-2 in game 1, game 1 5-2, and game 2 12-5. Waynesburg scored a total of 17 runs in both of those games. Trent Jarafa, Alec Inglemore, and Garrett Comer all scored and drove in runs in those games. We know what Trent Jarafa brings to the plate. We know what Alec Inglemore and Garrett Comer bring. But who do you like in our roster that you see could really step up and make a huge impact in this game against Allegheny?
One guy at the plate, at least, Marco Menendez, he had a pretty good game despite losing the last two against Pitt Bradford. I definitely feel like him, Seth Bergdahl, Alec Engelmore, those are key guys you need at the plate to really be consistent in their at-bats and get around the bases as much to kind of not just get runs themselves, but surround it with their team. As guys, maybe Aiden Williams comes in and pokes one on a gap shot just to get the bases moving and definitely put up more runs.
Yeah, and Vinny, my final question for you. We know PAC conference games, they're 9 innings. With out-of-conference games, they're 7 innings. So how is that going to kind of affect the players in this time? You get a full 9-inning game. It's not cut off 2 innings short. How do you think that's going to affect the players in this game and just overall as a team?
It could go either way, in my opinion. I definitely feel like I've said earlier, Waynesburg has struggled in that 6th and 7th inning, whether it's being a close game and they're letting up a shot to blow the lead. I definitely feel like they need to really stay keen on their mind and really just put into perspective that the 7th inning isn't what you're pushing towards. You're pushing towards the 8th and the 9th to really get your team going, and especially in a late game scenario, whether it's turning 2 or just getting an out to clear out the 8th inning with batters on, I definitely feel like you got to stay keen on mental errors instead of physical error.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely going to be a different feel. Now shifting over to the pick'em segment. So we're going to do split or sweep. First game, we're going to do Franciscan Westminster. Franciscan currently sits at 4th in the PAC right now. Westminster kind of teetering at the bottom. Who do you have winning, and is it a sweep or is it a split?
So Franciscan being 5-4 and Westminster being 5-9. Despite being 5-9, Westminster is a pretty good defensive team. However, Franciscan, they're 2-0 on the road. I mean, this game could kind of go either way, but I'm saying Westminster sweeps this one.
I agree with you. I think Westminster is the more high-powered team. I think they got, as you mentioned, the better hitting overall. Give me Westminster to sweep here. Moving on to the next one, we have Teal versus Penn State Altoona. So it's a out-of-conference matchup for Teal, but still a game nevertheless. Sweep or split, Vinny?
This one is kind of a shocker. Penn State being 5-9 overall and Teal being 2-9 overall, but what you may not look at is Penn State Altoona is on a 7-game losing streak. And it started in Florida. They lost hope. They've let up 65 runs in the 7 games that they've previously lost. Despite Teal being 2-9, I'm saying Teal upsets. Teal, give me the sweep.
Yeah, Penn State Altoona does leave with, I believe, Tyler Green leading the AMCC in stolen bases for Penn State Altoona. But I'm going to disagree with you. I think they split. I'm going to say Penn State Altoona is going to win game 1 and Teal wins game 2. I think it's going to be a better matchup than a lot of people think it is. And so I'm going to give me the split here. The second to last game, Grove City versus Chatham. Big battles. Grove City is in 3rd currently in the PAC with a 9-6 record. Obviously still they have yet to play a conference game. And then you have Chatham, who's sitting just below them in 5th place at 8-8. So who do you got here, Vinny?
Now, you mentioned them being at 8-8. That's at best that's mediocre right now, despite being no PAC play, and despite Grove City being a 9-6 team. Grove City again very offensively and defensively good as they are 3rd in the conference. So I'm going to have to go a split on this one. Chatham, an 8-8 team, not too great, mediocre at best, but I definitely feel like they could get the job done at least one of those games, so I'm going the split here.
Yeah, Chatham currently sits in 5th at batting average with 300. Meanwhile, for Grove City, they're right at 6th, so right behind them with a 287 overall batting average for each team. I think I'm also going to do a split here. I think it's going to be a great game. I could see a walk-off happening. I could see something maybe out of the ordinary happen to end the game, so I'm going to do a split in this game. Now, the game everybody has been waiting for, Waynesburg Yellow Jackets, Allegheny Gators. Who do you got here? Dalton Lucy, as we mentioned, on the mound for Game 1. Ethan Earhart on the mound for Game 2. Waynesburg is currently sitting second to last in the PAC with a 4-12 record. Meanwhile, Allegheny sitting in the middle of the packet with a 5-7 record. So split or sweep, who you got, Vinny?
Now, you mentioned the last season where Allegheny lost to Waynesburg. However, they dominated Waynesburg in the postseason. However, I feel like it is a new year, and I feel like the PAC play will be a lot different, being those 9 innings. I'm taking a Waynesburg sweep here.
Yeah, I got to agree. I think the Yellow Jackets get it done. We've had all out-of-conference matchups so far, and as you mentioned, in conference play, PAC play is much different than out-of-conference play. These are the guys that matter. These are the games that matter. These are the games that they look at when you get to that PAC tournament at the end of the season. That's going to do it for me and Vinny Heller on the panel. But don't go anywhere, as we're going to go down to the field shortly with Logan Arblaster and Tyler Aaron, as they will have the call for Game 1 here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
The following is a presentation of the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
A very good afternoon and hello, friends, on this beautiful and windy Saturday in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. We're ready for baseball and opening day of the President's Athletic Conference schedule between the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets and the Allegheny Gators. And we have 2 for you today, which means double the fun. Logan Arblaster here with Tyler Aaron as the voices behind the Game 1. And, well, to put it simply, this has not been the start that Waynesburg expected to have. The Yellow Jackets enter conference play with a 4-12 overall record and on a 3-game skid. Allegheny enters today 5-7 overall and also on a 3-game losing streak. Both of these teams made the PAC tournament last year. The starting pitchers in those games, Dalton Lucy and Matt Schweikert, will also be the starting pitchers today. But Tyler, both these teams, no wins, no losses. They get a clean slate with conference play starting. How much can a clean slate help a team to get back on track?
Well, both of these teams so far this season, both on a 3-game losing streak. Waynesburg losing their last 3 games to Pitt Bradford and then Pitt Greensburg, and then for Allegheny, lost both of their games against Rochester and then Worcester as well. So coming into today's game, Waynesburg 4-12 overall record, Allegheny 5-7. So both teams trying to find their stride here today, and they can start this conference play on a new note here today.
And both those teams trying to find their ways back to the caliber of play that got them into the playoffs last year, and we're just moments away from first pitch as we'll stay here for the national anthem. And that'll do it for the national anthem. I'm not sure how much of that we caught, but now Waynesburg is onto the field. We're just about ready to go. This is what Brandon Crum's starting lineup will look like for Allegheny this afternoon. He goes with Tommy Landness leading off in at first base today, followed by the pair of first-team All-PAC members, Matt Jennings and Tyson Bryant Dawson. We know all of what they can do. Tyler Skaggs in the cleanup role and catching for Matt Schweikert today, and then William Wolf, the designated hitter. 7, 8, 9 are Garrett Lionheart, Nick Bonyez, and Grant Dowden, and I missed number 6, Alejandro Samayoa. But we noted in the pregame how great Dalton Lucy has been in his first 2 years at Waynesburg. Now in his third year, he's had a couple rough starts. He gave up 7 runs in his last 2 outings, but he gets the ball in the first game of President's Athletic Conference play today.
Yeah, Dalton Lucy already on the season 0-3 in just 15.2 innings pitched, already 36 hits given up, and that a 9.19 ERA. Has 7 strikeouts, though, so far this season, and we'll see what Dalton Lucy can do here to kick off President's Athletic Conference play for Waynesburg.
And he'll be backed by his battery mate of Aiden Williams, the defense behind Dalton Lucy. On the left side of the infield, it's Trent Giraffe at third and Noah Gabriel at short. Dalton Mount on the other side of the middle infield, and then Marcos Mendez at first base, left to right across the outfield, and around the horn, Mosley, Hamrick, and Englemore. It's been 317 days since the last time Waynesburg has been on the diamond for PAC action. 317 days ago, they lost to Washington and Jefferson to end their season. Since then, there's been a lot of changes. Head coach Perry Cunningham left, and now Michael Impellitteri is the new head coach. And we're excited for PAC action as Tommy Landness stands in and awaits the first pitch of the PAC season from Dalton Lucy. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Jonathan Honer calling the balls and strikes today behind home plate. The 0-1 is taken upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Last season, these two teams didn't just meet in the postseason. They also played a doubleheader as that ball is bounced on a 2-hop, picked by Mendez. He steps on the bag for the first out of the game.
Yeah, already 1 out already. Just taking control of the game is what Waynesburg has to do to kick off this game. It's your first conference game. Just let Dalton Lucy do his thing. Make him take control of this game, and just defense do those routine plays, and you'll be good.
Now it's Matt Jennings, the right fielder. He's batting .400, a homer, 15 runs batted in. First pitch to him missed low. Takes the next one, runs in tight, but it's called a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count's even. Waynesburg, for the first time in program history, swept Allegheny last year in the regular season. Fouled back to the backstop. Lucy quickly back ahead here. And Lucy was the starter in game 1 of last year's regular season doubleheader. He went the complete game. Was a fantastic performance for him that day, and that ball is popped in the air, tailing towards the right field foul line. Englemore's over, and it's off the tip of his glove. It gets foul, so the count remains 1-2.
Very close for Alec Englemore. Hustled over about 30 feet out into foul territory to get that one just right off the glove.
Alec Englemore was the hero in game 1 last year in the doubleheader in the regular season, giving Waynesburg the lead in the 8th inning with a solo home run. Game 2 was also another great pitching performance for Waynesburg, and Gavin Pratt, he went the complete 9. Williams lines up inside, and it's tapped right back to Lucy. He floats it over to Mendez at first, 2 outs.
Dalton Lucy flashing the leather, doing everything on that, working that 1-2 count. Great pickpocket there as it goes right back to him. Easy, 2 outs.
And in Lucy's last start versus Muskingum, it's Tyson Bryant Dawson, the speedster. He had 31 stolen bases last year. He ropes it into left field, and it gets past Mosley and rolls to the wall. Tyson Bryant Dawson on his way into second, and he cruises in, standing up with a 2-out double in the top of the first.
Yeah, first pitch fastball right down the middle for Tyson Bryant Dawson. Ropes that one to left, already coming in today with a homer on the season and a .424 batting average for him as well. Great double here, and hopefully Allegheny can get a 2-out rally going.
Lucy now from the stretch against the cleanup hitter of Allegheny, Tyler Skaggs. He has 3 homers, leads the team in homers, .472 average, takes a fastball outside for a strike. And Lucy, in his last outing, he went 5 1/3 versus Muskingum. He was on the road, gave up 7 earned runs, 10 total, only 2 strikeouts. So the ball has been put in play often against him so far this season. That one bends below the knees. Count even at 1-1. Runner in scoring position is Bryant Dawson. Opening day of President's Athletic Conference play. And a bouncer to short. Gabriel's up with it, sets his feet, throws, and a pick on the other end from Mendez at first is the final out of the 3rd inning. Allegheny scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors in the inning, 1 left on base, and the score is 0-0 as we head to Waynesburg's first chance at bat in President's Athletic Conference play.
Yeah, great play by Noah Gabriel with a little backhander scoop and throw it, and then another great scoop there over at first for Mendez as well. Just working and making those plays early. See what you can do on offense here in the bottom half of the inning against a pitcher that you are way too familiar with on Allegheny, and Matt Schweikert.
Matt Schweikert, the man that Allegheny calls to get the start, a rematch of last year's postseason game. And in that postseason game, he went 7 1/3 innings pitched, gave up 5, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 strikeouts. And the recipe for success for both of these teams last year was pitching. And it's important to note that so far in Waynesburg's slow start to this season and their early struggles, that their team ERA is 9.76. That's 9.76. That's just something that has to be fixed, and they have to be able to get back, both of these teams, to pitching at the caliber that Matt Schweikert, Dalton Lucy played at last season.
Yeah, Waynesburg in the pitching category, as you said, 9.76 team ERA. That is last in the President's Athletic Conference, just behind Teal, who's sitting in 10th place at an 8.36 team ERA. Allegheny up there in 8th place in the pitching category in the President's Athletic Conference with a 7.13 ERA.
And the starting lineup for Waynesburg this afternoon, it's Dalton Mount, followed by Seth Bergdahl, Aiden Williams, Alec Englemore in the cleanup spot, then Trent Giraffa on the hot corner today, and he's batting 5th, and then followed by Marcos Mendez, Jordan Mosley in the bottom 2 in Waynesburg's order, Connor Hamrick, Noah Gabriel, who made the final out of last inning. Like we noted, it's been a slow start for Waynesburg. They lost their starting shortstop and starting left fielder, who graduated after last season, Todd Berner and Lane Hours. Those guys were phenomenal for the team. Todd Berner, 6th in the PAC in runs scored, had 15 RBI last year, and Lane Hours led the team in homers with 5, led the team in RBI with 24, and hit .383 in conference play. So speaking on how this has been a slow start, that's something you have to consider first. And then in addition to losing some very solid hitters, we talked about they lacked in the pitching department. They get a chance to turn it around today, and the first to do that is Dalton Mount, .286 average this year. He digs his cleats into the right-handed batter's box. Schweikert checks his glove, checks the signs, comes set, and here's the delivery. The first pitch from Schweikert on its way, taken high. Another reason for concern has been Waynesburg's 26 errors so far this season. They had a clean defensive inning there in the top of the first. Ground ball, left side, running in, throws on the run, lying hard to Lansness to retire Dalton Mount, 1 out. Seth Bergdahl, who received some national votes and got onto the Division III Player of the Week poll after his performance on the trip to Florida. He stands in here second, 343 on the year. Fastball's high, 1-0 the count. By the way, speaking of errors, Allegheny leads the PAC, or did lead the PAC, with 30, and that ball is laced into right center field, and it splits the outfielders. Splits Dowden and Jennings. Seth Bergdahl slides feet first into second base with a 1-out double, and now Waynesburg's in business here in the bottom half of the first.
Beautifully hit ball by Seth Bergdahl right in the right center field gap, right in between Jennings and Dowden. Race for it. Seth Bergdahl turns on the Jets, rounding first, attempts to go for that second base and gets it. And Waynesburg is in business with a runner in scoring position here and only 1 out.
Aiden Williams, the hottest hitter in the lineup, 481 average, takes a fastball outside. Waynesburg has the opportunity to get on the board first. It's Bergdahl taking his lead off the second. Englemore awaiting the 1-0. From the stretch, Schweikert's pitch. Check swing, foul ball into the dugout of Waynesburg. Look out over there. Luckily, everybody is okay. A scoring opportunity for Waynesburg to get out ahead here first. Williams takes it inside. 2 balls and a strike. Schweikert takes a look at second. They're holding Bergdahl on, and 3-1 now. Pitch below the zone at the ankles. The delivery fouled back. Full count, 0-0 the score. 1 out, Bergdahl on second base after a 1-out double to right center field. Aiden Williams at the plate. He went 1 for 3 in the doubleheader versus Pitt Bradford. His one hit was a double, and he scored a run in the second game. An absolute colossal start to this season. Batting average hovering around 480. Schweikert delivers the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Aiden Williams retired on strikes for the second out.
Big break for Matt Schweikert. Aiden Williams stepping in today, leading Waynesburg in batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage. A slugging percentage of .667, an on-base percentage of 1.242, and as you mentioned earlier, of .481 batting average for Aiden Williams.
Now it's Alec Englemore who fouls it along the first base side. Outs. 2 hits for Waynesburg in the inning. An opportunity to score first. Jaffa from DeLone Catholic High School awaits the 1-2 offering from Schweikert. 2 balls and 2 strikes, counts even. Schweikert takes a peek at Englemore at first. And strike 3 called. He struck him out. Seth Bergdahl stranded at third. Englemore left on at first. Waynesburg with 2 hits in the inning, but the score is still scoreless after 1.
Yeah, overall a fantastic first inning though for Waynesburg here. Unfortunately, you didn't get the run, but you already have 2 hits on the board. You're already working into the pitch count of Schweikert, because you got to think too of the pitch count game in the NCAA regulations with the pitch count as well. So the more pitches you throw, the more the quicker Schweikert's going to get out of this ball game. So you have that working for you too. You're up in the hit count. Dalton Lucy already looks fantastic already to kick off that first inning. And again, this is a pitching rivalry that we saw last year in the playoffs when Allegheny beat Waynesburg 4-2. So Waynesburg just got to keep on playing their game plan, keep intimidating up at the plate. It's all about the plate discipline and the plays that you make out in the field behind Dalton Lucy.
Absolutely, and we saw a lot of that in the top of the first inning. Some nice plays, one specifically of note, Marcos Mendez making a pick on the other end of a nice play from Noah Gabriel at short. And speaking from the standpoint of this being the first President's Athletic Conference game of the season, it gives you a chance to reflect on how they played in the out-of-conference games to this point. So how did Waynesburg get to this point? They won the first game of the year on opening day over Penn State Altoona. That was a 4-3 final. That was followed by 3 straight losses, 2 of which were to Wilkes University and part of Waynesburg's 8-game trip to Florida. Their Florida trip in Fort Pierce and Vero Beach. And by the way, Allegheny also made a trip to Florida. Allegheny finished their trip a little bit better than Waynesburg did with a 5-4 record down in the south. But Dalton Lucy's ready to go in the top of the second. It's William Wolf, the designated hitter, who takes a ball below the knees. Wolf batting .222 with a homer in 6 ribbies. Lucy deals and a line drive shot in the left center field. Mosley plays it on a hop and a leadoff single here for William Wolf.
Great job by Jordan Mosley getting over there to catch that on the one hopper. As that hit the outfield on, it looked like it was going to go over Mosley's head. Great job by him to get the glove up and put that in and only hold Allegheny to a leadoff single.
It was a nice play by him to be able to get over there. If not, that's a double. But now it's Alejandro Samayoa. Talking about the trips to Florida and the results of that. Since returning back to Pennsylvania, Waynesburg has lost both games of a twin bill to Muskingum. Line drive into right field. Englemore running on and makes the catch. Squeezes it for out number 1. And Waynesburg totaled 33 runs in a doubleheader against Pitt Greensburg this week. They won game 1, putting up 23. Not too many times you don't sweep a doubleheader putting up 33 runs. Garrett Leinhardt takes a fastball away.
Yeah, in that doubleheader against Pitt Greensburg, Waynesburg hit their team high in runs, hits, RBIs, and doubles.
So a fantastic day at the plate. Tapper foul. Waynesburg, the 4-12 record overall. Allegheny at 5-7. Both teams ranked pretty high in the preseason poll. Wolf took a couple steps there towards second on the pitch, but thought against it. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. William Wolf with a leadoff single followed by a fly out to right from Alejandro Samayoa. Dalton Lucy from the stretch. Ground ball, there's a chance for 2. Gabriel on to second for 1, and no. They do call it on the exchange. Dalton Mount unable to have a clean exchange to get it back to first to Mendez. So the force out at second retires William Wolf. He heads back. Garrett Lionhard reaches on the fielder's choice, and Nick Banez heads to the plate.
Yeah, Dalton Mount unable to transition that ball from the glove to the throw on to Mendez. There could be a break here for Allegheny with 2 outs.
And the runner takes off, throw down to second, skips in late, and a stolen base from Garrett Lionhard. And a runner in scoring position for Nick Banez. Last inning, Tyson Bryant Dawson hit a 2-out double. There was a runner on second with 2 outs. Same situation here again. Lucy deals to home, misses away. Banez, one of the weaker hitters in this heavy-hitting Allegheny lineup. He bats .160. He does have 2 homers, though. The pitch just misses off the outer edge. Lucy thought he might have had it. Three balls, no strikes. Williams sets up inside, and Lucy misses away. Williams saving that one from getting the backstop. And now runners at first and second for Grant Dowden, the 9-hitter in the Allegheny order.
Yeah, Nick Banez, only player in this Allegheny lineup that has a below 200 batting average at .160. Banez stepping up a little bit closer to the plate than usual, challenging Dalton Lucy, and triggers that 4-pitch walk.
It was the first walk of the day for Dalton Lucy. Allegheny, they lead the PAC in homers with 12 total as a team. Top 4 in batting average, second in on-base percentage. Lucy's pitch is a fastball on the outer edge. It's a strike. Waynesburg ranked 5th in the preseason poll coming into the year, which is voted on by all 11 managers. Allegheny was ranked 3rd.
That one looked like it went off the knob of the bat. It looked like originally it hit Grant Dowden. So here's the replay of it, of the pitch coming in. It comes in, and a little bit of a check swing right off the knob.
1-2 misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch was awfully close to catching a piece of Grant Dowden. It's Nick Banez at first. Sam Iowa was retired on a flyout, and Lionhard at second. Lucy comes set. Delivers the pitch. And that ball is off the handle and falls into right field for a hit. Lionhard runs around third. He's on his way home. He scores, and safely in at third base is Nick Banez, and it's a RBI single for Grant Dowden, 1-0 Allegheny.
Yeah, beautifully placed hit there by Grant Dowden right in front of Alec Engelmar and Dalton Mount. Let's take a look at the replay here. Dowden comes in, and he hits that one out. Goes right in between Alec Engelmar and Dalton Mount. The relay throw was right there.
Perfectly placed hit to get Allegheny on the board first. Alec Engelmore gave it a shot at the plate, but it was Garrett Lionhard able to beat it out, used his speed, motored around from second base to score on the play. Now runners on the corners here again for the top of the order. Tommy Landis, and a 2-0 count in his first at bat. He grounded out to first unassisted. He's the first baseman for Allegheny today. Dalton Lucy behind again. The 2-0 pitch taken for a fastball strike. And Lucy here in a tough spot. Landis awaits the 3-1. Here it is. And the runner takes off to second and breaking for the plate. Headfirst dive, safe. Nick Banez takes advantage of the throw down to second base from Aiden Williams. Grant Dowden took off. And it allowed Nick Banez to score. It's 2-0 Allegheny.
Here's the relay throw at the place, just a hair too late. What a throw, though, by Noah Gabriel, stepping up and throwing that at home for that very close relay play.
Next pitch is fouled off, and that's one of those plays where they teach you with the runner on third, if you throw down, you're allowing the chance that the runner might take off on the throwdown. If you don't cut it in front of the second base bag, and maybe if Williams gives a pump fake, he's able to bait the Allegheny runner into a rundown. Line drive single into center field. Hamrick fields it. He throws it towards home, and they cut it off. It's now 3-0 Allegheny on an RBI single from Tommy Landis, scoring Grant Dowden from second base.
Yeah, again, keep the 2-out rally going. Allegheny Gators say here. Again, keep on working Dalton Lucy up into the high pitch count. Force them to throw something that they want to hit. Goes in, and Allegheny's taking advantage of Lucy right now with 3 already.
Matt Jennings stands in, and they check on the runner at first. 3-0 Allegheny. Lucy was able to work out of it in the first, not so much here in the second. Bouncer to second, Mounts takes it himself, steps on the bag, and Waynesburg finally gets out of it. Not before 3 hits and 3 runs score in the inning. It's 3-0 Allegheny. We'll take a quick break here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Unable to watch the live stream? Follow our account on X for live updates on the game. Check us out on Instagram as well for game day posts with all the information you need to know, as well as behind the scenes of each production. Our social media team works the hardest to give the best content to all of our audience. We're even on TikTok. You can stay up to date with WCTV on our Instagram account with clips from each of our shows. And last but not least, subscribe to our WCTV YouTube channel to watch those shows in full length. Check us out from Lucin, WCTV, and the entire Department of Comm.
You're listening to WCYJ FM, 99.5 The Hive, your home for everything Waynesburg.
Our campus radio station gives students like you a chance to work in live studio environment without ever leaving Waynesburg. WCYJ FM has specialty shows, sports recaps, and updates, weather, and live coverage of your Yellow Jackets. Tune in at 99.5 The Hive or online at waynesburg.edu/listen.
And we're back for the bottom of the second inning. Allegheny put up a 3 spot in the top half. Marcos Mendez will get his first President's Athletic Conference at bat of the year. He's batting .364 in out of conference play.
The rain's starting to drizzle down here over Waynesburg University. Umbrellas out.
And we started the day a windy 26-mile-per-hour wind and 50 degrees clouds, and now those clouds have turned into rain. We'll keep you updated if there's anything heavier on the way. Mendez skies it into center field. That one's way up there. Dowden takes a few steps in and catches it for the first out.
A lot of height on that one from Marcos Mendez to kick off the bottom of the second inning. Marcos Mendez, last time he played Allegheny against Matt Schweikert, 2 hits in that 4-2 loss in the playoff game. He led Waynesburg in that category with 2 hits as well, and he was a guy I had high on my list of players to watch out for Waynesburg.
So he's retired on a fly ball to center field, and a breaking ball doesn't break, it stays high. To Jordan Mosley, who is in his junior season from St. Albans, West Virginia. Fouls it off along the first base side, and Mosley, he appeared in 15 games with 8 starts, went 9 for 33 at the plate in his freshman season. Spent a bunch of time playing there. Schweikert, as we know, dominated in that outing against Waynesburg in the playoffs. 7 1/3 innings, only 1 earned run. He takes a look at his glove. The pitch. Runs in and tight on Mosley. Backs out of the way. On deck is Connor Hamrick. And in the hole is Noah Gabriel. Pitch misses outside. 3 balls and a strike. 1 out. 3-0 Allegheny. Schweikert kicks and deals the 3-1 pitch. Catches the outer edge.
Mosley wanted it. He wanted it. He thought it was just off the plate and didn't get the call.
Schweikert comes set, stops at the waist, and here's the payoff pitch. Inside, Mosley will walk down to first, and Waynesburg has a runner on in the bottom of the second.
That ball actually got a piece of Jordan Mosley.
Did it really?
Just off the front elbow, I think it was. But home plate umpire Christopher Eidenfeld hands up, signaling dead ball on that one.
I couldn't tell if it caught a piece or not, but your eyesight is better than mine, it appears. Connor Hamrick steps in, bounces it back up in the middle. On to second for 1, on to first for 2. It's a 6-4-3 double play to end the bottom of the second inning. Lionheart to Samioa to Landis. Waynesburg strands a runner on. They do get a hit in the inning, but it's 3-0 Allegheny. The rain's picking up, the wind's picking up. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back on the other side for the top of the third inning on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Gotcha.
Hey, what are you doing? We're on in 30 seconds.
Fading up to Tyler and Mia in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Mia Hinkins.
And I'm Tyler Aaron, and welcome
to Jacket Sports Weekly.
top of the third inning, Tyson Bryant Dawson, who hit a double in his first at-bat, stands in. Fastball's in for a strike, and the weather conditions have kind of got worse here, Tyler.
It really has been. Right now, the temperature's at 50 degrees, but it doesn't feel like it as these winds at 16 miles per hour right now, but wind gusts up into the mid-30 miles per hour already with the rain blowing sideways.
Dawson squared to bunt. The throw is wide of the bag at first. Dawson reaches safely. Mendez shaken up on the play. He stretched off the bag. And
let's take a look at the replay here of Tyson Bryant Dawson. Goes for the bunt, and the relay to first, I guess, stubs Marcos Mendez's hand, hits off of the back area of Bryant Dawson, and then off of the first base coach right in the ankle, on the inside part of his ankle.
Yeah, that doesn't
right
feel
at that
good,
bone right there of assistant coach Richie Rowe for Allegheny. So in just that throw over by Trent Raffa, who came up for that, hit 3 people on that, and a few of them are shaken up here.
Mendez getting tended to by the training staff here at Waynesburg University. Also out there, first-year Waynesburg University manager Michael Impellitteri, and he was brought on in the offseason in replacement of Perry Cunningham, who was here for an extended period of time. Cunningham now the head coach of Waynesburg High School. Looks like Mendez is going to take some throws back and forth, see how he feels. Pellettieri came over from Hood College, where he spent 7 seasons. He was the winningest coach in Hood program history. Middle Atlantic Conference Commonwealth Coach of the Year in 2018-2019. Has high hopes and expectations. We talked to him before the year. Says his goal is PAC playoffs and more wins than last season. So we're ready to go again. Lucy from the stretch delivers a fastball in for a strike to Tyler Skaggs. Grounded out to short in the first. Bryant Dawson at first. He's a 2-time All-PAC first-team player. Has received some national attention. He's been on the Division III Team of the Week before. He's a senior now from Oakland, California. 31 stolen bases, as we've noted last year. He takes off, and a foul tip back off of Aiden Williams behind home plate. Counts even at 1-1, 3-0 the score Allegheny. They put up a 3-spot last inning. Linehard, Banez, and Dowden scored. Austin about 2 steps off and now creeping away, and Lucy throws back. Brian Dawson gets back safely. Lucy ahead 1-2 in the count. He comes set at the belt and delivers a pitch. Runner takes off, and a hard hit ground ball, sliding stop near the outfield grass by Noah Gabriel, and from the edge of the grass can't release a throw. Back-to-back infield singles to start this top of the third inning, Tyler.
This is where the weather conditions right now is going to heavily impact this game. Noah Gabriel sliding backhand pickup. He goes up to try and make that throw and slips and falls for him to hold on to that and not make that throw on the first. So I can already see there's people, the infield's getting a little bit slick already, and it's going to impact this game.
William Wolf squares to bunt, and by the way, this is a all artificial turf infield here at Waynesburg University, which, to your point, likely makes it even harder to field these ground balls and make the throw across the first. When the ball's wet, it's hard to stay on top of it, get a grip. William Wolf singled as the designated hitter in his first at bat. Lucy checks on the runner at second, spins around, throws. Bryant Dawson dives back safe. First and second, no outs. 1 ball, no strikes to Wolf. Lucy takes a look to second. The offering on its way. The ball gets away to the backstop. Past Aiden Williams, and both runners move up. So now Bryant Dawson into third and Tyler Skaggs at second. Nobody out in the top of the third. The wind has subsided here a little bit, thankfully, and now the infield moves in for Waynesburg. They'll try to prevent a run from coming home. The pitch, skied right side of the field and hooks out at play. And if you're Dalton Lucy here, Tyler, you have first base open, but there is nobody out. So you likely have to throw strikes. William Wolf probably gearing up for a fastball here, 2-1. And 3-1. Some groans from the Waynesburg dugout. That one is just off the outer edge. Skaggs at second, Bryant Dawson at third. Dalton Lucy in a 3-1 count delivers the pitch outside, ball 4. Bases are loaded for the Gators.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Infield comes in. Throw at home, I guess. So I guess if you're Waynesburg here, rely on Dalton Lucy here to get you out. And if the ball gets hit into play, make the play and rely on the defense as well. Not ideal for Waynesburg here to kick off the top of the third inning.
Sam Iowa, who flew out to right, takes a strike.
Let's go, Luce!
Infield still in for Waynesburg. Force out at any base. Giraffa playing even with the bag at third. Lucy's pitch. Hard hit ground ball foul along the first base line. Quickly ahead 0-2 the count to Alejandro Samayoa. 2 RBI this season. Bases loaded, big spot. Bryant Dawson, the runner at third, Skaggs at second, Wolf at first, and a fastball outside. Dalton Lucy's pitch. Strike 3 called on the outer edge. Lucy gets a big out. Now just a pitch away and a double play away from getting out of this jam.
Well, there's one for Waynesburg. Infield's going to take a few steps back, but have the hot corners playing in still. So interesting decision here by Waynesburg with bases loaded and 1 out here. But you can play this at 2 bases if a ground ball gets to the infield.
Lionheart ropes it foul. It's a big strikeout, like you noted. The middle infield can play back. A ground ball could get Waynesburg out of the inning. 3-0 Allegheny. Garrett Lionheart at the plate. Lionheart trundles it to the shortstop. Gabriel on to second to Mount for 1, and Mount again can't cleanly exchange the ball, so a run scores. It's Bryant Dawson in from third, 4-0 Allegheny, 2 outs in the inning.
Another error really by Mount here on the transition, and this is his second one already. He did it back in the second inning, excuse me, when William Wolf was up to bat. Again, it was the same exact player. It's Sam Iowa running over, and just unfortunate for Waynesburg.
Lucy checks on Lionheart at first. Banez at the plate. Skaggs moved up to third, so it's runners on the corners and 2 out in Dalton Mount unable to handle the play there at second. He struggled a bit in Florida, did have a few errors on the Florida trip. There's a strike from Lucy.
Here we go, Luce.
And that one's inside. Count even at 1-1, 2 outs. Waynesburg's record last year in the President's Athletic Conference was 15-5. Allegheny finished at 14-6. Both these teams were very comparable last year. High fastball from Lucy, 2-1 the count. Two balls, one strike. The offering from Lucy popped into the air, sky high in the infield in foul territory. And Marcos Mendez makes the play right in front of Aiden Williams. That's the final out of the top of the third inning. Allegheny only gets one after having bases loaded and nobody out. Dalton Lucy will take that any day. They have 6 hits. Waynesburg has 2. They'll come back for their shot in the bottom of the third inning. We'll step aside on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Bottom of the third inning, you're listening to the Waynesburg University Sports Network. I'm Logan Arblaster alongside my partner, Tyler Aaron. He'll take over play-by-play duties in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Score is 4-0 Allegheny. Due up here for Waynesburg in the bottom of the third is Noah Gabriel, the 9-hitter. Still hasn't had an at-bat yet today, although it feels like we've been playing for quite some time. Dalton Mount at the top of the order is on deck, and in the hole, Seth Bergdahl. Bergdahl, by the way, was one of the Waynesburg Athletes of the Week. He went 8 for 10 with 3 doubles, a homer, also made the Division III Baseball Team of the Week. An outstanding week for him. It's not too many times that you have an accomplishment of that extent here. Division III Player of the Week. But anyways, Noah Gabriel stands in. He leads off the bottom half of the third. Takes a fastball high and tight. The final game played against Allegheny last season wasn't in the regular season. The PAC playoffs, Allegheny gets the last laugh. Another high and tight fastball that time catches the zone. Allegheny won the game 4-2. The game was tied at 2 until the top of the 8th when Allegheny pulled ahead, and that score became final ultimately for Allegheny. It was Jennings and Nolan who had 2 hits each, and Bryant Dawson came through against Pratt in the 8th with an RBI double, and all of those runs were credited to Dalton Lucy. Gave up 4 in that game. It's a 4-0 game as Gabriel waves and misses on a fastball retired on strikes, 1 out.
Yeah, just the quick and early control by Matt Schweikert there, working the early K there. And he has a little bit of a hesitation in his whole wind-up and delivery there. Kind of fooled Noah Gabriel to swing ahead of that one and get Schweikert's third strikeout on the day.
Back to the top of the order. Ball is lofted into center field. And a corn for Grant Dowden, 2 outs. It's a cooler, windy, rainy day at the Eastview Athletic Complex, the home of Waynesburg University baseball and softball. Softball and baseball field here was completed prior to the 2010 season. The 12-foot high left field wall is yet to see a home run today. Seth Bergdahl has delivered those in the past. He's batting .343, doubled in the first inning. Is still only one of 2 Waynesburg hits in the game. Schweikert's pitch inside, 1-1, counts even. Waynesburg currently second to last in the PAC standings, obviously all based on out-of-conference play. Allegheny is ranked 7th. Right now it's Geneva leading the pack at 9-3, followed by W&J at 8-4. W&J has won 5 straight, it's been 4 straight PAC titles. Bergdahl crushes the 2-1 in a stop at second base by Sam Iowa on to first for the final out. Sam Iowa had to work back on it before he could field it. Was able to field it cleanly. 4-0 the score here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network, and we'll be back for the top of the 4th after this short break.
Welcome to the Eberly Library, where you can find out everything about anything on campus. Through the double doors, you'll enter a world of knowledge and academic resources. These include the Knox Learning Center, where the Disability Services Office and testing centers are located, and the Writing Center, where students can work directly with our tutors in order to hone their essay skills and get easy A's. And now, to the print collection, which houses over 75,000 books spanning across all 3 of our floors. And if you're looking for truly a peaceful place to read, we also have the Stover Center for Constitutional Studies, with various nooks and crannies for students to hide away in with a good book. And if you need us to print out something for your next class, head on to the 3rd floor at the Eberly Library.
Grant Dowden will lead off the top of the 4th inning in a 4-0 game in favor of the Gators. 3 runs scored in the 2nd inning from Allegheny. They added 1 on last inning. Dalton Lucy still out there. Grant Dowden singled in his last at bat. And he pops it, and running back into shallow right field is Mount to make the play on the run, 1 out.
Great job by Mount there. Hustling back over. He right off of the gate as he went he slipped just a little bit on that, again, with the turf conditions here, with the rain and wind coming down. But he regains his traction, gets there, and makes the play.
And the first pitch this time is outside of Tommy Landis. Some nice footwork there from Mount, who's hit directly behind him, so he had to be able to get in a position that he could get there, and that pitch almost gets a piece of Landis. After today, the next games for Allegheny include 4 straight out-of-conference games before coming back to PAC play. Waynesburg, on the other hand, plays Tuesday at Franciscan in a doubleheader. First pitch in game 1 is at 1 p.m. Allegheny's next PAC opponent is on March 29th in a doubleheader at Chatham. Ground ball hit hard right at Mendez, and 2 outs.
That's the second time today that Tommy Lansness has grounded out to Marcos Mendez here to open up the ball game. A nice simple grounder for Mendez, and then a little bit of a copy and paste here for Tommy Landis here in the 4th.
Matt Jennings is 0 for 2. The windup and the pitch. Ground ball. Comebacker to Lucy. Flings it to first, 3 outs. 3 up, 3 down for Dalton Lucy. 4-0 the score. We'll head to a break on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm Mia Hinkins, and welcome to Buell Hall, home of Waynesburg University's Department of Communication. If you visit our campus, you'll have the opportunity to attend some comm classes, enjoy lunch with our students, and watch us in action. We hope to see you here soon at Waynesburg University.
To schedule your personal visit, go to waynesburg.edu/admissions/schedule-visit. Come grow with us at Waynesburg University.
This is so buzz.
Cornucopia.
Try instead of train.
I love this show.
And we're back on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. It's Logan R. Blaster, Tyler Aaron on a rainy Saturday day. I want to give a quick shout out right now to the cameramen working this game and withstanding these below average conditions. It's Braden King, Sarah Clegg, Kat Taylor, Luke Andrusik. Just a great job that they were doing on camera today, and it's not easy being out there. Aiden Williams bounces it to second, and gloving it, throwing it, and getting Williams out is Sam Iowa, 1 out. And the guys in the truck, they deserve a shout out too. It's Joe Chirillo, producing this game today. Cole Keller, he's in the truck. Ethan Spazarski is in the truck, and Seth Adams doing a great job, as always, directing this game. It's Alec Englemore. High fly ball into shallow center field, taking a few steps in is down and 2 outs. Tyler, you found an interesting note on the last couple innings for Allegheny.
Yeah, between the first and fourth inning, it really was just a copy and paste for the top 2 hitters, and Tommy Landness and Matt Jennings in the first inning. Unassisted ground ball to Marcos Mendez happened for Landis. For Jennings, a ground out to Dalton Lucy. So a little bit of a Command C, Command V action for all of the Apple users out there.
Do you use an Apple phone?
Yes. I might be an Apple fanatic. I feel like I have every Apple product ever.
Giraffe off the handle, a soft roller on the run, and a high throw to first. They're able to tag Giraffe, I believe, and that's the final out of the inning. Yeah, honestly, I'll never use an Android or any phone other than an Apple. That's my thing.
My first phone was an Android that I actually shared with my siblings, and then I got an iPhone SE was my first phone by myself. But let's take a look at the replay here of the Trent Giraffa ground out to Garrett Leinhard as the throw a little offline, a little bit of a jumper, but just barely gets that tag. Tommy Landis gets on Trent Giraffa to record that third out. And I don't know if you see this, Logan, but in the last inning and a half, it's been 1, 2, 3 innings all around.
It has been. It's been a few quick innings in a row, and we're going to keep it here. Dalton Lucy, he's given up 6 hits, but he's been able to limit the damage. Allegheny had the bases loaded 2 innings ago, and he held them to just 1 run scored. So Waynesburg still within striking distance. They'll have to get the bats going. But it's Allegheny's turn at the bat right now. And while we still have time to really run through the entire President's Athletic Conference standings, Geneva's in first, the 9-3 record, W&J, followed by Grove City, Franciscan Chatham, St. Vincent 6-7, and in 6th place, and the Allegheny Gators in 7th, Bethany 8, Westminster 9, Waynesburg 10, and Teal in the basement at 11. There's going to be 20 total PAC games played for each team this season. The PAC tournament this year begins on May 7th, runs through May 10th.
Only 4 President's Athletic Conference teams as well has only played conference games. Washington, Jefferson, St. Vincent, Bethany College, and Geneva have all played yesterday. And then around the PAC today, Teal travels to Penn State, Altoona. Franciscan will travel to Westminster, and Grove City will travel to Chatham.
And Tyson Bryant Dawson from the right side, high fly ball into left field towards the foul line, giving chase, and catch into foul territory from Jordan Mosley on a high fly ball to left is the first out.
Yeah, starting off this inning with a nice, quick, easy out seems to be the trend here in the last inning and a half. But for Waynesburg, it's again how you want to start every inning with a nice, quick out and just keep on relying on Lucy to get you out of the inning.
And played on a hop from Giraffa. He fires across the diamond, 2 outs. Lucy's really settled in after getting out of that bases-loaded jam, Tyler. He's the All-PAC second-team pitcher. He's really finding his groove.
Yeah, he absolutely is. He's retired 7 of his last 8 batters that he's faced since giving up those bases loaded. So Lucy really settling in here and taking control of this game for Waynesburg.
Lucy's at 64 pitches. And he gave up 7 runs in each of his last 2 starts. Have to imagine he could probably continue to go. I mean, after the first 3 or 4 innings, it looked maybe he would get pulled early on, but really settling in here. We've seen him go to 100 pitches and past that before. 1-0 is taken for a strike, counts even at 1-1. William Wolf is 1 for 1. He also walked. That ball is squibbled, stays fair, and Aiden Williams throws it to Mendez at first. That ball hugged the foul line, and it's the final out in the top half of the 5th inning. Allegheny still leads 4-0 on the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Yeah, again, Dalton Lucy really settling in and taking control after the little bit of a hiccup there in the 2nd and 3rd inning, giving up those 4 runs, and then getting out of that bases-loaded jam back in the 3rd inning. But overall, even for Matt Schweikert as well, really settling in and both taking control of this game. But Allegheny with that 4-0 lead right now, so we have to see what Waynesburg can do here heading into the bottom of the fifth inning with Marcos Mendez, Jordan Mosley, and Connor Hamrick coming up to hit to lead off the bottom of the fifth inning for Waynesburg.
And you'll be taking over on the play-by-play duties. And very, very excited that I had the chance to broadcast with you today. I'm having fun despite this weather.
The weather conditions is definitely not ideal, as it feels like it's below freezing right now, even though the temperature is 50 degrees right now. But I'm thankful the wind has died down a little bit and stuff. It seems like the rain's almost completely to a stop, although we still have a party here on the first base side in the pavilion behind us.
We do have a number of students and parents in the pavilion.
Yeah, Matt Schweikert already only giving up the 2 early hits, only at 41 pitches so far for him as well. Heading into the 5th inning, that's great. I mean, if you do the math there, he's on pace to complete all 9 innings here. But Marcos Mendez will step up to the plate here for Waynesburg to kick off the bottom of the 5th inning. As Schweikert's delivery, Mendez launches this one to deep center field. Dowden back for it. He'll get there in time for it for a routine fly ball. And it's an F8 to kick off the bottom of the 5th inning. Now Jordan Mosley will step up to the plate, coming into this game with a .375 batting average. 0 home runs on the season, 3 RBIs for Mosley. He walked back in the 2nd inning against Matt Schweikert, as the first pitch is in and hit down into left field. And that is going to be caught by Tyson Bryant Dawson. So 2 pitches, and we already have 2 outs with fly balls to Dowden and Bryant Dawson for Allegheny. And that's going to bring up Connor Hamrick, the number 8 hitter today for Waynesburg, up to bat. He is 0 for 1 as well, grounded into a double play, a 6-4-3 double play back in the 2nd inning. It's the first pitch to Hamrick is low and out for ball 1, count 1-0.
Yeah, that Mendez fly ball to center, he really put a charge into it. Off the bat, I thought it had a chance to at least get to the wall. You have to wonder how much that wind blowing in from right field is impacting fly balls. If you look out in the right center field, there's a flag in the parking lot, and it is whipping back towards the field of play. So these hard hit balls are even having a hard time getting down in the outfield.
Schweikert's pitch in for a strike, count will go to 1-2 now. But yeah, 400 to dead center field here. Right for that left field wall, 12 feet high, as you mentioned earlier, 10 feet in over on the right field side too as well. So right where that split is, as Schweikert delivers a foul ball right off of, it actually hit him. It looks like right on the elbow. We'll look at that replay there, as it looks like it just skimmed off the front elbow of Connor Hamrick, and he will reach first for the first time today.
Yeah, and where we're positioned here, it can become an optical illusion from the broadcast booth being on the first base side here at the Waynesburg University baseball field. And Hamrick did go about a quarter of the way in his swing, and it appeared like it maybe got a piece of the bat, and it actually worked out for him. He took it off the forearm, and Waynesburg has a runner on.
Noah Gabriel will step up to the plate for Waynesburg, as his first pitch is up and high for ball 1. Noah Gabriel coming in today with just below a 200 batting average this season, a .174. 6 RBIs, though, on the season so far for Gabriel, and he's got a runner on, as a throwback to first base is just late. Schweikert fires down for strike 1. Count goes to 1-1 on Gabriel. Schweikert, 8.04 ERA coming today as this one gets by Lansness out right in front, and it's going to be a nice advancement here for Waynesburg. Connor Hamrick up into scoring position now, and with 2 outs here, a base hit can get Waynesburg on the board here.
Yeah, and all they need is that first hit, and they can get going. It's the top of the order on deck after Gabriel, so you'd like to see Gabriel come through here and get some momentum building for Waynesburg.
Yeah, Tommy Lanzis not really expecting another throwdown like that as pitch goes in, and that gets by Tyler Skaggs in another wild pitch, so it advanced to third. So just like that, in 2 pitches, Connor Hamrick has went from the right side of the infield to the left side of the infield corner. So now runner on third base for Waynesburg. Here, 2 outs. Count is 2-1 on Noah Gabriel.
Yeah, and both those throws from Schweikert, the pick to first and the pick off to first and the pitch home, it looked like he just pulled those pitches a little bit in his delivery, and being able to stay on top of the baseball and being on time whenever the ball is wet is what's so difficult.
Schweikert throws one in up high for ball 3. Count goes to 3-1. Again, Connor Hamrick on third base. He reached on a walk.
No walks yet on the day, I believe, for Schweikert.
Pitch is in and low. And looks like here's walk number 1. Here, a little bit of a announcer's jinx, maybe. Right as I say it, we have our first walk on the day going against Schweikert. That's his 8th walk of the season.
I'll gladly take credit for that. That was all on me, I think.
We'll put a tally mark right next to your name.
Also,
for
Dalton
announcer
Mount's about to
jinxes.
hit an RBI single, too.
First pitch to Mount, check swing foul back towards the Allegheny bullpen for strike 1. 0-1. Runners on the corners for Waynesburg. See if Mount can have a little bit of 2-out magic. But before we see if Mount will get that RBI single that Logan Arblaster has predicted, we're going to have our first Mount visit for Allegheny. Again, first time today where Matt Schweikert's been in a little bit of a jam here with 2 outs as well. So Logan, what do you think head coach Brandon Crum is trying to convey to this Allegheny defense?
Well, you have to understand that Brandon Crum, he's a former Gannon University 3-year captain and catcher. If there's anybody that knows how to handle these first and third situations, it's Brandon Crum. So he's probably reminding Tyler Skaggs that if Noah Gabriel takes off here at first, you still have a 4-run lead. So you could exchange an out at second base for a run and those type of things. But I'd imagine that those are some of the things that they discuss out there on the mound.
Matt Schweikert with another attempted pickoff attempt unsuccessful. He'll throw it in, and another wild pitch to Mount. Here's the relay to the plate. He is out on the tag. Connor Hamrick tried to come home on the attempted steal here, and just a little bit too late getting to the plate, and that's going to end the inning.
Yeah, Schweikert's control all day has been great until this inning, and he gets lucky on that play. I mean, his fastball ricocheted directly off the backstop, quick enough that Skaggs was able to field it and toss it to Schweikert, who was covering home, and Hamrick got a late break. I really thought he had a chance to score, and he was out by a good step and a half at the plate. So, tough break. It's unfortunate that's how, for Waynesburg, that's how Schweikert and Allegheny got out of the inning.
Yeah, so 0 runs, 0 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base there in the bottom half of the 5th inning But we're going to step aside here real quick and be back here shortly. You're listening to the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
You're watching WCTV, where we aim to bring you the best local coverage of what you care about most. Everything from local businesses to hometown sports and the latest weather. We're keeping up to date with what you need to know about issues that affect our campus and our community. We're telling the stories that matter, celebrating our past, our future, and our potential. So
we're back here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. First pitch into Alejandro Samayoa. He's 0 for 2 today to kick off the top of the 6th inning. A fly out to right field in the 2nd inning and a strikeout looking in the 3rd inning for Samayoa's second pitch in is in for a strike. So count goes to 1-1. The rain here has significantly picked up here, as more people joining us in the pavilion behind us, as Lucy's pitch is in for another strike. Count goes to 1-2. Pitch goes right back to Lucy on a one-hopper. Throw on to first, and just like that, Alejandro Samayoa is retired to kick off the top of the 6th inning.
That's the 3rd time I think that we've seen Lucy have to flash the leather on a comebacker, and he makes it look very easy. That time, maybe the hardest of the 3 plays. And it's still rolling here, 71 pitches. He's looked real good lately.
Garrett Leinhardt up now for Allegheny. His first pitch is swung on down the 3rd baseline, foul. Garrett Leinhardt scored the first run of the game for Allegheny on a fielder's choice, stole second, and then scored off of a base hit by Grant Dowden. As second pitch is hit over to short, bobbled by Gabriel, and no throw to first. So a little bit of a harder play there for Gabriel on the backhand. We'll see what they score it as an error or a hit. But Allegheny's got a runner on first with only 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, that ball was hit deep in the hole at short, so it would have been a tough play regardless. But especially with this rain and the infield being wet, that if you're the shortstop, you want to be able to try to get around that ball and get your feet moving towards first. Gabriel tries to play it on the backhand, and it just doesn't work out for him. They did, Lucy hit the batter on that pitch, so now runners at first and second here.
They did credit Garrett Leinhardt with a hit off of the bobble by Noah Gabriel, but a hit by pitch, and now there's 2 on and only 1 out for Allegheny, as Grant Dowden will step up to the plate. Dalton Lucy's first pitch in on Dowden is inside for ball 1. And I have a exchangement of baseballs here, as this is probably going to become a regular thing now with this rain, with no signs of dying down now. Thankfully, the wind has pretty much halted to about nothing now, but the rain has gotten harder. So we'll see where that goes from here. Count 1-0 on Grant Dowden. He shows bunt. It goes down the 3rd baseline, but foul. Leaning towards the 3rd base side. Dalton Lucy, 77 pitches so far, getting close to the pitch count. Lucy's 1-1 pitch to Dowden is low for ball 2, 2-1. 2 on, 1 out. Here. Dalton Lucy. Again, coming in today with a 9.19 ERA as well, only giving up 7 hits today. Gave up 7 hits in each of his last 2 outings this season, as there's a drive out to left center field by Dowden, and that one's going to hit the wall on 1 hop. Here comes the throw in. 1 run will score. Leinhard will come around to score. Banez will reach third, and Dowden will get the second. It's an RBI double here, and Allegheny's going to take a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, Lucy went to the breaking ball on that pitch, and he hung it. Wasn't able to finish and get over the top of it, and it looked like that was exactly what he was looking for there, as he crushed it in the left field. Dowden did, and now there's going to be a mound visit. That was a great job, by the way, also for Connor Hamrick to get over there and get it in on the relay, holding him just to 1 run. It could have been a lot worse.
There's bullpen action over on the third base side for Waynesburg. It's going to be Gavin Pratt warming up here, the senior from Carmichael's, Pennsylvania. 2-1 record on the season. Looks like for Waynesburg, it's just going to be a normal mound visit. No pitching change, it looks like. But there is action in that Waynesburg bullpen now. So 2 runners in scoring position for Allegheny with 1 out. Again, to recap this inning so far, started off with a ground out to Dalton Lucy by Alejandro Samayoa. Garrett Leinhard with a single to shortstop. He came around and scored, but first Banez hit by a pitch. He's on third, and then a double as first pitch to Tommy Landis goes right around Lucy and into center field. 2 runs come to score, and just like that, 2 more are added for Allegheny. It's now 7-0 here in the top of the 6th inning.
And that's probably the one that gets Allegheny in a very favorable position. Up to this point, it's kind of felt like Waynesburg stuck with it, and although the bats haven't been going, they've had a chance, and it's still just the 6th inning. But definitely a backbreaker there, as Lucy was unable that time to field the line drive right back at him.
Matt Jennings will step up to the plate for Allegheny. Matt Jennings 0 for 3 so far for Allegheny. 2 ground outs to Dalton Lucy, and then an unassisted play at second, as an attempted 2-point or double play is no good. But they do get the runner out at second. Noah Gabriel to Dalton Mount. No error on the transition that time by Dalton Mount, but the throw just a hair too late. So Matt Jennings is going to reach first base on a fielder's choice. And Tommy Landis is out at second. A 6-4 put out at second. And that'll bring up to bat Tyson Bryant Dawson. He is 2 for 3 today. His first pitch, runner goes. The throw to second is late on a 1-hopper. So another runner in scoring position for Allegheny. And Brian Dawson, dangerous at that number 3 spot, coming in today with a .424 batting average, and already 2 for 3 today on Lucy. Could be danger for Waynesburg.
You just want to be able to get out of this at this point. The rain still picking up. You have a second game to play today. Want to be able to get off the field and kind of reset here.
Pitch by Lucy is drove into left center field for a base hit. That's going to get to the wall. 1 run's going to come around to score. Here's the throw in. It's going to be a double for Brian Dawson, as Tommy Landis comes around, or excuse me, Matt Jennings comes the whole way around the base pads to extend this Allegheny lead to 8-0.
Brian Dawson, being such a great player that he is, if you leave a pitch up in the zone like that, he's going to take advantage of it more times than not. And he recognizes it right away, gets the bat head out in front, and he absolutely scorched it on a frozen rope, the left center field, and that's going to do it for Dalton Lucy.
It'll be Gavin Pratt stepping up to the plate, but we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back to finish the bottom half of the 6th inning. Score right now, Allegheny 8, Waynesburg nothing. You're listening to the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm Mia Hinkins, and welcome to Buell Hall, home of Waynesburg University's Department of Communication. If you visit our campus, you'll have the opportunity to attend some comm classes, enjoy lunch with our students, and watch us in action. We hope to see you here soon at Waynesburg University.
To schedule your personal visit, go to waynesburg.edu/admissions/schedule-visit. Come grow with us at Waynesburg University.
We're back here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Score Allegheny 8, Waynesburg nothing. Here, 2 outs in the top half of the 6th inning. Runner on second base, that is Tyson Brian Dawson. New pitcher for the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets, Gavin Pratt, the senior from Carmichael, Pennsylvania. He comes in today with a 2-1 record in 17 innings pitched, 12 hits, 23 strikeouts. He leads the team in innings pitched and in strikeouts, 9 walks, and an ERA of 4.76. As first pitch, Pratt delivers, is just out for ball 1. Pratt pitches low. Stolen base for Brian Dawson, another one for him today.
The stats for Gavin Pratt, 4.76 ERA, 2 wins, 1 loss. This is his 5th appearance. 17 innings and 23 strikeouts to 9 walks. Pretty good ratio. Just a 194 opponent batting average against.
Tyler Skaggs up to bat for Allegheny. He is 1 for 3 today, as the pitch to Skaggs is up high, close to the head of Skaggs for ball 2. Count goes to 2-0. And Brian Dawson out on third base for Allegheny as that pitch is in for a ball. That's going to be ball 4. For Skaggs, so runners on the corners now for Allegheny. That'll bring up the designated hitter William Wolf to bat. Here is Pratt looks to get out of a jam here. Tyson Brian Dodson scores here. That'll be credited over to Dalton Lucy. Pratt responsible for Skaggs on first. Pratt kicks and fires for ball 1 up high. Count goes to 1-0. Lucy's pitch in is down the middle for strike 1, 1-1. Dalton Lucy finishes the day today, 6.2 innings pitched, 10 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, giving up 8 runs and 2 hit by pitch batters, as here is a throw to second, and Skaggs caught in a rundown, and he is going to be tagged out. No, Mendez drops the ball, and now he's going to be out going to second, tagged out by Noah Gabriel. The run does score as it comes across, so it will be 9-0 here as we hit the bottom half of the 6th inning. So Brian Dawson comes around to score. Skaggs thrown out in the rundown at second.
And they were able to score, like we mentioned. A heads-up play there, being able to get to the plate before the out was recorded. And the other side of that is having to stay in the rundown long enough so that can happen. Good play on both sides for that to work out for Allegheny. It's now 9-0.
10 hits now in total for Allegheny. Score now 9-0. We're going to step aside as Matt Schweikert will come out to pitch for Allegheny for the bottom half of the 6th inning when we come back here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Matt Schweikert back on the hill for Allegheny for the bottom half of the 6th inning. He comes in today only pitching 2 career complete games and 1 career shutout. Here as he leads the Allegheny College Gators to a 9-0 lead so far, only giving up 2 hits earlier in the game. Due up for Waynesburg, it's going to be top of the order, Dalton Mount, Seth Bergdahl, and Aiden Williams for Waynesburg.
Well, you got to get something started now if you're going to come back. You still have 4 innings left to do so. Down to their last 12 outs.
Dalton Mount will be the leadoff hitter for Waynesburg to kick off the bottom of the 6th as first pitch is in for strike 1. 0-1 on Dalton Mount. He's 0 for 2 today. Ground out to the shortstop in the 1st inning, and then a fly out to the center fielder in the 3rd as that pitch is inside for ball 1. Both of Schweikert's complete games happened against La Roche back in 2023 and then Westminster last season as pitch by Schweikert is in fouled off to the backstop. Count goes to 1-2 on Mount. Schweikert is going to ask for a new ball as the rain has no signs of stopping. It just keeps on getting harder. And as I now say that, the wind picks up and starts blowing the rain sideways right into us.
And nobody can see what's going on in the broadcast table here, but we have, I'll let you call the play.
Mount. Throw onto first by Banez is out, and Mount's going to reach second. He wants to go to 3, but he's just going to settle for 2 bases. A ground ball by Nick Banez went on to first. And again, with this rain, you're not going to have much control over the baseball. That one just a little bit offline, going from corner to corner to Tommy Lansness. Can't hang on and rolls right in front of us. So an early action for Waynesburg with a duck on the pond here for Waynesburg and looking to get their first run of the game.
The rain's impeding the play, and I impeded your play-by-play call there. I apologize. I talking about the rain. But I was just saying that nobody can see the broadcast table here, and we have our note cards taped down, probably 30-plus note cards taped down, scorecards. We have a lot going on here to battle this rain and wind.
Seth Bergdahl back up to the plate. He takes in ball 2 in the dirt.
I wonder how it felt to be the announcers who went to Florida and got the real nice sunshine and
60, 70 degrees. That feels so nice right now. A bunt by Bergdahl. Throw on to first. They are going to get Dalton Mount out at third. Bergdahl will reach first on a fielder's choice, but that alleviates the runner in scoring position. So just like that, it's just a normal runner on first for Waynesburg.
So that was a all right bunt there from Seth Bergdahl. The goal is for neither the catcher or the pitcher to be able to field it, because when you have a runner on second base, if you're bunting the ball, you want to have Banez, the third baseman of Allegheny, have to come in out of position, step away from third base so it's not occupied, to come in and field that ball, which would allow Mount to sneak in behind him. But Mount broke for third base, and Schweikert was the one to field it. And he just ran himself into an out, because if he stays put, he's able to see the throw to first and then get to third. Just not very good base running there from Dalton Mount.
First pitch to Aiden Williams now off the bat is up high for a ball. He is 0 for 2 today, a strikeout swinging in the first inning, and then a ground out to the second baseman in the third. As second pitch is outside for ball 2. Pitch count up to 60 now for Matt Schweikert. And he has no signs of slowing down as he delivers the 2-0 pitch, outside for ball 3. A 3-0 count for Aiden Williams. Schweikert looks, fires inside for ball 4, a 4-pitch walk for Matt Schweikert. And that's going to get 2 on for Waynesburg, with Alec Engelmore stepping up to the plate for the 3rd time today.
And you're down 9 runs. I'm not totally sure. I mean, the only out in the inning being on the Seth Bergdahl attempted sacrifice bunt. I just don't really, if that was a planned scenario, I'm not really sure why you're sacrifice bunting down 9 runs.
Schweikert's first pitch to Engelmore is in there for strike 1. 0-1 with 2 men on for Waynesburg. Seth Bergdahl on second. He reached on that fielder's choice. Aiden Williams with the 4-pitch walk. He's on first. Schweikert delivers. This one's fouled on down to the first base side onto the road behind us. Count goes to 1-1 on Engelmore. Engelmore 1 for 2 today. A single in the first and a fly out to the center fielder in the 4th. As the 1-1 pitch is in and just a bit high for ball 2.
Look for something to drive here if you're Engelmore.
As Schweikert steps off the mount as he fakes the throw back to second base. Get Seth Bergdahl back onto the bag. The 1-2 pitch to Alec Engelmore is in and way upstairs. Count moves to 2-2, 1 out, 2 men on for Waynesburg. 9-0 is our score here between the Allegheny College Gators and the Waynesburg University Yellow Jackets. Rain still been steady for, I'd say, about the last hour. As pitches in, grounder out to the third base side. Foul. Count remains 2-2. Here's the pitch by Schweikert. Down the middle, called strike 3. And that is going to be the second out of the inning. And it's going to bring up Trent Giraffa to the dish with 2 men on and 1 in scoring position for Waynesburg.
Let's go, Trent!
Here's the first pitch by Schweikert. In there for strike 1. Trent Giraffa 0 for 2 today. Strikeout looking in the first, and then a ground out to the shortstop in the 4th inning. He recorded the last out to end the 4th inning for Waynesburg. Schweikert's pitch down low in the turf for ball 1. Schweikert now approaching 70 pitches now today. Schweikert's pitches in on Giraffa, and there's a ball hit out towards right field. Right there is Matt Jennings, and he is going to make the play and record the final out of this inning. So 2 runners left on base for Waynesburg here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. When we come back after this break, we'll have the top of the 7th here as Gavin Pratt takes back to the hill for Waynesburg. You're listening to the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Have you ever wondered what the life of a Yellow Jacket newspaper looks like? Why don't we show you? Straight from the printing press to our editor's desk into the newsstands, you can pick up your own copy of the Yellow Jacket newspaper in Buell Hall, the Stover Campus Center, or any of our other newsstand locations on campus. When you get your very own copy, you can read it at your own leisure anywhere around Waynesburg. You can kill time waiting for your next class to start by reading up on campus news and our op-ed pieces. You can even take your copy to the Beehive and catch up with friends as you read up on the latest regional stories. Looking for a peaceful place to read now? Head on over to the Allegheny Library. Sit back, relax, and catch up on the latest in Waynesburg sports. Oh, and if you didn't know, we are also digital at theyellowjacket.org.
Back here for the top half of the 7th inning. Myself, Tyler Aaron, on play-by-play alongside my broadcast partner, Logan Arblaster. 9-0 Allegheny is our score here in the first half of the President's Athletic Conference opening day for both of these teams. Here, both first conference games of the season. There is a second game after this here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Ethan Spazarski and Anthony DeFilippo will have your call for that one. Scores around the PAC here. Teal is beating Penn State Altoona 4-1 right now in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. And Westminster is hosting Franciscan. They are up in that game as well. Here, both of those games started in the first, as first pitch to William Wolf is fouled back into the Allegheny dugout. And seems like everyone is okay. There's a little bit of clearance at the top of the gate here in the dugouts here, and that was a liner right in that area as second pitch by Pratt is inside for ball 1.
That's why they always tell you, when I was playing, I would always want to put my hands in the
holes of the fence in the dugout, and that's why they'd always tell me to get off it. So if there is a foul ball, don't break your finger or anything. Did you play baseball?
I did.
Did you?
I did. I played up until middle school and stuff. I was a catcher and a second baseman. What about you?
You have to have an arm to play catcher. I played middle infield a little bit, some outfield. When I got older, the outfield.
Fourth pitch of the at-bat by Gavin Pratt is inside for ball 2. Count now 2-2. As the fifth pitch of the at-bat is fouled off behind us over the road. Count remains 2-2. William Wolf with a base hit in the second inning, and then grounded out from the catcher to the third baseman to end the fifth inning, as well as that pitch is in away for ball 3. So count is full here. Nobody out, nobody on here in the top half of the 7th inning. As pitch by Pratt is fouled off again to the backstop. Count remains full. Wolf coming in today with a .222 batting average, 1 homer for him and 6 RBIs. As the full count delivery by Pratt swung on and hit down the first baseline. That is a fair ball. It trickles to the right field corner. And it's going to be a stand-up double for William Wolf. Lead-off double for Allegheny to kick off the top half of the 7th inning. Here and already a runner in scoring position for Allegheny.
Yeah, he snuck it just inside the right field line. Thought it had a chance to go foul, and he was running hard out of the box. There's no question of if he was going to have a chance of being thrown out at second. Now, Allegheny does have a pinch runner come in for him.
Drew Evans is the guy coming in from Erie, not Pennsylvania, but Colorado. Erie, Colorado, the 6'2" sophomore. As Gavin Pratt already in a little bit of a jam to kick off the top half of the 7th inning. As the first pitch is in and outside, ball 1 to Alejandro Samayoa. He is 0 for 3 today. Flew out to right field in the second, strikeout looking in the third, and then a ground out to Dalton Lucy in the 6th. As Pratt will step off the bag to send Wolf back to second. Pitch low by Pratt. Makes this a 2-0 count. Pratt winds up and delivers the 2-0, hits off of the shoulder of Samayoa. So 2 on to kick off the top half of the 7th for Allegheny. That's going to bring up Garrett Lionhard up to bat. He scored. He has scored 2 runs today, 1 in the second inning and 1 in the 6th inning.
Pratt tried to throw that fastball inside and just let it go a little bit early.
First pitch by Pratt is in, sacrifice bunt attempt, and that one fouled the whole way above the netting and back behind the press box here behind home plate. That might have been the highest sacrifice bunt I've ever seen, as that cleared everything.
Is that Josh Klingen working the game over there? I think it is.
I think so too.
He always looks like he's ready to go.
Sacrifice bunt again. That one is inside and low. Throw back to second. One hopper is mishandled by Gabriel. Wolf will stay there at second. We'll see if Leinhard goes for a sacrifice bunt for the third time today. Throw down to second, that goes into center field, and both runners are going to take off. It's going to be a throwing error by Gavin Pratt, and both runners advance. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Allegheny. 1 on third, 1 on second.
Let me say this. I was on the baseball team for a short time my freshman year. I only played 2 weeks into the off-season practices, and then I quit. So I probably don't have much of a say-so or should be giving my opinion on it. But I'm a little bit confused as to why they're not just focusing on the batter, being the fact that they're down 9-0. And I've actually just been handed a coat. Thank you so much, Deanna. I was freezing and without a coat. Thank you. Thank you, Deanna. Appreciate it.
Count now 2-1 as pitched by Pratt is in for ball 3. Count goes to 3-1. Now you're going to make me jealous because you're going to be looking nice and warm.
I was standing behind me. Oh, this is Scott. She put hand warmers in this too.
You lucky duck. Wow.
We'll alternate each inning.
3-1 is the count. The delivery by Pratt. Thank you, Benny. As that one is going to be fouled away on the first base side. Look, we got hand warmers now.
You get a hand warmer.
I get a hand
get the
warmer.
Full coat. This is making me feel like a not great person.
2 runners on for Allegheny. Full count right now. Score Allegheny 9, Waynesburg 0. The delivery by Pratt is low for ball 4, and that's going to load them up here in the top half of the 7th.
Do I see sunshine poking through the clouds?
I see it too. Maybe I can throw on my sunglasses here in about an hour when these clouds get away.
I hope so.
But the rain has halted. The wind is still here, but not really as prominent as what it was as first pitch is thrown by Mount to home. One hopper missed by Aiden Williams. So bases are still loaded, but a run comes around and scores. So that's now 10 runs for Allegheny, 10 runs on 11 hits, and that's going to be Waynesburg's first error today. Nick Banez was up to bat for that. Now he's on first. He reaches on that fielder's choice. Brings up Grant Dowden to hit for Allegheny. His 4th time up to bat as first pitch is in and outside for ball 1. Pitch is in, and that hits Grant Dowden, so another run's coming across. So that's 11 now for Allegheny, and we're going to have a pitching change now for Waynesburg. Here, we're going to step aside. Now, score right now with the bases fully loaded here in the top half of the 7th inning. It's Allegheny 11, Waynesburg 0. You're listening to the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
You're listening to WCYJ FM, 99.5 The Hive, your home for everything Waynesburg.
Our campus radio station gives students like you a chance to work in live studio environment without ever leaving Waynesburg. WCYJ FM has specialty shows, sports recaps, and updates, weather, and live coverage of your Yellow Jackets. Tune in at 99.5 The Hive or online at waynesburg.edu/listen.
We're back here as the ball is hit out to center. That is caught by Connor Hamrick, and a run will come in to score. So a sacrifice fly for Tommy Lansness, his 5th time up, as Michael McCready is in now to pitch for Waynesburg. He comes in today with an 0-1 record and a 14.04 ERA. As the score is now 12-0. As first pitch is up, and that's going to be in for a base hit. That gets by Gabriel. One run is going to score and come around. It's Nick Banez. So it's 13-0 on the RBI single by Matt Jennings. And like that, score now Allegheny 13, Waynesburg 0, and only 12 hits for Allegheny and runners on first and second base. Tyson Bryant Dawson back up to bat for Allegheny. 2 batters away from batting the whole way through the lineup here in this 7th inning alone. As first pitch by Michael McCready is in, swung on and missed for strike 1.
TA, in 7 of Waynesburg's 12 losses, they've lost by giving up double digits in runs scored. So the pitching, once again today, you go back to the team ERA coming into the day of 9.76. It's obviously inflated even more since then. It's just been a really big reason for concern so far for Waynesburg this season.
Pitch is in, called, strike 2, count now 0-2 on Tyson Bryant Dawson. Michael McCready, 20 hits given up so far this season, 5 strikeouts on the season. It will not be 6, but this is going to be grounded back to the pitcher. Throw to second is just going to be in time on the relay throw to get Matt Jennings out at second.
2 outs. 2 outs. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. They might get the third.
So runners now on the corners. I'm currently playing hot potato with this hand
This is
warmer.
unbelievable. I wish we could get a 4K in here to see what's going on. You're trying to call the game, hot pocket in hand.
I wish it was a hot pocket.
I mean, this is a phenomenal performance.
First pitch low and away for ball 1 for Tyler Skaggs, the last person who hasn't hit in the 7th inning.
I said hot pocket, hand warmer, same difference at this point.
Count that 1-1 on the strike called there.
They have the concession stand open today?
You know, I hope so. I could go for a hot pocket right now. I really could.
Me too.
Maybe some hot cocoa. Can we get some in the truck, please, for after this game? As that pitch is fouled on and back to the backstop.
I got hot chocolate at Dunkin' this morning. Might have to go for round 2. You know what? I'll treat you to some hot chocolate. Would you like that?
Yeah, I would. I am freezing.
Let's go after the game.
The 1-2 count is down low for ball 2. PAC regulation rules with the NCAA as well is mercy rule is if a team is leading by 10 after 7 complete innings, as that ball is pitched low into the turf for ball 3, so it's a full count. Now as Bryant Dawson takes another stolen base for him, that's his second today, so we got 2 runners in scoring position, or 2 ducks on the pond that I always like to call them, as that's going to be ball 4. So bases are fully loaded again, and William Wolf is going to come up for the second time this inning here. Again, bases fully loaded.
What condiments do you like on your hot dogs?
I'm a ketchup, mustard, and sometimes I'll put like dill relish on it.
Yeah.
But
I've
usually
never
just
tried
like pickle
that,
slices.
actually. I'm usually just a ketchup mustard guy.
You know, nachos sounds really good right now as that first pitch is down
You know
low
who
in
has the best
turf.
nachos? PNC Park.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't know if it gets talked about enough. They have the semi-spicy, you know. I like that.
Yeah, we got nachos yesterday at the Pens game yesterday, and I will say their nacho cheese is definitely not it around the Pittsburgh area, as that ball is again in the turf for ball 2, count now 2-0.
You know what somebody once told me?
No. Is fouled off onto the first base
If you
side.
start talking about concession stand food during the 7th inning of a game, it probably means it's gotten a little bit out of hand.
2-1 is our count here. Drew Evans in the game now. He's up to bat right now, and he's going to route one into center field. 1 run comes around to score. Here comes run number 2. Bryant Dawson is in standing. It is a 2-run RBI single for Drew Evans. And now that improves Allegheny's lead to 15. 15-0 is our score here.
2 touchdowns, an extra point, and a 2-point conversion.
That's still more points than the Steelers' offense and when they can put up. So his first pitch in on Alejandro Samayoa.
We might be able to get the Aaron Rodgers breaking news that he's coming to Pittsburgh or something by the end of this game.
As that ball is roped just foul down the third baseline. So count will stay 1-1 now on Samayoa. It's Tyler Skaggs on second base. Drew Evans on first base for Allegheny. Mike McCready trying to get out of this jam for Waynesburg as that ball's hit to third.
Oh, no.
Bobbled by Giraffa. No throw on to first. Everyone's going to advance another base. And the bases are fully loaded again.
I feel like we've just been a broken record with that. It's just the last 20 minutes. Can't catch a break, man.
As that one was inside on Garrett Leinhard, and I guess he didn't duck quite enough with the bat, as that one just hammers off onto the third base side towards, or excuse me, the first base side towards the Allegheny dugout, so strike 1. The 0-1 pitch in, fouled off, again to the backstop. 0-2 is our count. Do you like jalapenos on your nachos too?
I was waiting for that question because that's where I was going with the PNC Park nachos. Is they're spicy, but if you have them with the jalapenos, I think it's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can do both at the same time.
That ball in and outside for ball one, count down 1 or 2. What's your favorite food to get at a ballpark? Because personally, I don't know about you, but there's like a lemonade like slushy type thing. I don't know what they're called, but they're amazing, and like the Toll House cookie as well.
I know
the
what
big
you're referring
kahuna.
to.
That one is again low for ball 2, 2-2, 2 out, fully loaded still for Allegheny. Mike McCready looking to get out of a jam. Here's it's in, fouled off by Lionheart. Count remains the same. I'll tell you what, this hand warmer is really doing the job right now. I'm like tossing it back and forth.
Hey, if this inning
like
ever ends,
hacky sack.
I will give you the code.
I'm good. I don't need the
code.
code.
The bargain. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
You look nice and warm, and I'm just going to keep on wishing I'm in Florida right now as that's fouled off into
I'm
the
not
backstop.
going to ask you twice, so, I mean, I'll still take you to Duncan. I will gladly keep the coat.
I'm just thankful the rain has fully stopped. The sun's coming out. There really isn't too much of a wind now. Still blowing a little bit. As the 2-2 pitches in, called strike 3. Struck out looking. And I can't wait to tally up the numbers for this inning. Here as they batted the whole way around the line. Here as we will head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Allegheny 15, Waynesburg 0. I'm gonna quickly run and get my Cracker Jacks and peanuts, for the 7th inning stretch here. But when we come back, we'll have the bottom of the 7th inning here. You're listening to the Waynesburg University Sports Network.
Welcome to the Eberly Library, where you can find out everything about anything on campus. Through the double doors, you'll enter a world of knowledge and academic resources. These include the Knox Learning Center, where the Disability Services Office and testing centers are located, and the Writing Center, where students can work directly with our tutors in order to hone their essay skills and get easy A's. And now, to the print collection, which houses over 75,000 books spanning across all 3 of our floors. And if you're looking for truly a peaceful place to read, we also have the Stover Center for Constitutional Studies, with various nooks and crannies for students to hide away in with a good book. And if you need to print out something for your next class, head on to the 3rd floor at the Eberly Library.
We're back here for the bottom half of the 7th inning, and there's no pitcher on the hill right now. Matt Schweiker did come out to the mound, but he seemed to have went back in. I saw some action at the beginning of the top of the 7th in the Allegheny bullpen. So we'll see if a new pitcher comes out for Allegheny or if it's going to be Schweiker coming back out on the hill. But 15-0 is our score here. And we just tallied up the numbers here for that top half of the 7th inning. 6 runs, only 3 hits. 3 errors by Waynesburg, and 2 left on base.
It's not a clean inning at all. I'm very glad that they ended up getting out of it. And as you already noted, the 10-run rule is in effect after 7. So Waynesburg would have to put up a 6th spot here to keep this game going. And things will start with Marcos Mendez. Following this one, we have a second one for you on tap in the second game of this twin bill today. It's going to be Anthony DeFilippo and Ethan Spazarski on the call for that one. So stick around after this game. It didn't go our way. It didn't go Waynesburg's way, I should say, in game 1. But there is a second game to be played.
So it looks like Matt Schweikert's day has come to a close. 6 innings in total pitched, or 6.0 innings fully pitched. And now on the hill for the Allegheny Gators is a personal friend of mine, actually, and,
Really?
and Brett McSparron.
Butler guy.
Butler Blue Sox pitcher and stuff. He joined the team 2 years ago for summer ball. I've been there for the last 3 years and have gotten to know the McSparron family very, very well. His older brother Connor, one of the ace pitchers for the Butler Blue Sox as well, and his younger brother looking to follow in his footsteps here as he comes in today with a 10.12 ERA and only 2.2 innings pitched, a 0-0 record. He's given up 5 hits, 2 strikeouts, and has only walked 1 batter. So we'll see what the Waynesburg offense can do here in the bottom half of the 7th inning with Marcos Mendez, Jordan Mosley, and Connor Hamrick due up for the bottom of the 7th.
The line on Schweikert to finish things up on the story on him. 71 pitches. He only gave up 2 hits the entire game. Very solid performance from him. And I'm excited to see what we see out of McSparron. Being that I know how competitive the Tri-State Collegiate League and Rust Belt League are that you're saying he played in with the Butler Blue Sox. So it's a good opportunity for him to get some innings in a game that's a little bit out of hand. And Waynesburg will have to put up 6 this inning to keep it going.
McSparron's first pitch on the day is low in the turf for ball 1 on Marcos Mendez as his second pitch is in, and that's going to be driven down the third baseline foul.
That's what we should have done, TAs. We should ask every player before the game what their favorite concession stand food is. So that's a nugget we can throw in during their at-bat whenever we start talking about concession stand foods.
McSparron's pitch, again, fouled off to the third base side for strike 2. Yeah, I totally agree. Maybe that'll give our social media coordinator, Deanna Hernandez, an idea for a TikTok video here. Our WooCom department TikTok, very popular here in the Waynesburg area. As a grounder to third base, picked up by Landsness to record the out. So just like that, 1 out. A 6-3 putout. That's going to bring up Jordan Mosley to the plate. Again, we still have another game after this. This is the only first half of our doubleheader today here on the Waynesburg University Sports Network. Ethan Spazarski and Anthony DeFilippo will have the call for that game as McSparron's first pitch is in for a called strike on Jordan Mosley. He is 0 for 1 today. He walked back in the second and then flew out to the left fielder in the 5th inning. Is it just me, Logan, or is it getting warmer?
I actually do
bit.
think it is. Now that the clouds, and I didn't want to say it because I feel like everything I've been saying has been happening today with the announcers, Jinx, but I think we might be in the clear to acknowledge the fact that there is sun. I'd like for it to say, oh, and Joe Terrillo, our producer, has reminded me why I'm not talking anymore because he said it is going to rain again. So
I hope not. As Mosley grounds 1 out towards Sam Iowa, and it's a 4-3 putout. So there's now 2 away here.
1 out away, TA, from Allegheny, taking game 1, going 1-0 to start the President's Athletic Conference season.
Waynesburg hasn't recorded a hit since the, first inning here. 2 hits only for Waynesburg. Seth Bergdahl and Alec Engelmore with a pair of hits in the first, and there hasn't been a hit for Waynesburg since. As the first pitch to Connor Hamrick is down for strike one. 0-1 is our count. Farron's pitch is in. That is going down the third baseline. Foul. 0-2. The payoff pitch is low for ball one. Count goes to 1-2 on Connor Hamrick. Noah Gabriel on deck, and then top of the order if we get there. As that ball is hit out towards left center field. That's going to be down for a base hit, and that takes a bad hop and gets by Bryant Dawson. Hamrick going to third. That's going to be that throw offline, and it's going to be a stand-up triple for Connor Hamrick. And the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets have a runner on third base for only the third time today.
And the first time since the first inning. You just mentioned it. The announcer's jinx is firing on all cylinders this afternoon. But Waynesburg could at least get a moral victory here if they're able to score the run 90 feet away. And Noah Gabriel will be the one having a chance to do so.
First pitch in on Noah Gabriel is in for a strike. 0-1 is our count. Action in the Allegheny bullpen. It is the junior from Youngstown, Ohio, Cole Littman, as that's a liner right to third base. That's caught by Nick Banez. An L5, and that is going to end this ball game. So one left on base in the bottom half of the seventh. 0 errors, 1 hit, and 0 runs. And that's going to do it here in this game. Allegheny wins this one 15-0. Before we send this out, any final thoughts, Logan?
It's a rough game. Dalton Lucy gave up the 4 runs. It looked like he was going to be able to corral it back in, and he was for a little bit, and then after that, it was all Allegheny, and that's kind of where the final score, it was final after that. So got to get the bats going, the pitching, the ERA as a team's over 10 now. Not a whole lot of answers here and a whole lot of questions for Waynesburg going into game 2.
Yeah. So that's going to do it here for us here. Allegheny wins this one 15-0. Again, final stats here. 13 hits for Allegheny, 3 errors as well. And then for Waynesburg, 0 runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors. So 15-0 is going to be our final score for game 1. So Allegheny will go to 1-0 in the President's Athletic Conference standings. Waynesburg going to be 0-1 and stuff. But here in about a half hour or so will be game 2 of our doubleheader. Again, my name's Tyler Aaron alongside my broadcast partner, Logan Arblaster. 15-0 is our final score. Coming up for the second half of the doubleheader, it'll be Ethan Spazarski and Anthony DeFilippo on the call. This is the Waynesburg University Sports Network.